What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be reviewing and just debriefing that Brisbane game. So just before we do jump straight into it, be sure to follow me on all my social media accounts, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all Swoop Luke. If you are a new Swooper, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you are a returning Swooper, thank you so much for rejoining me. Let's get into this debrief. So, in the penultimate game for Collingwood's season, we took on Brisbane up at the Gabba, and look, Brisbane are vying for a top 4 spot. They're very limited that they can make it, limited chance. But nonetheless, they're still vying for a top 4 spot. They got finals in a couple of weeks. With us, it's been a hell of a long season. So, look, I know I said that we were going to win by a point. But Brisbane were always going to hit us where it hurt. A lot of people predicted a Brisbane win by a large amount. And, ultimately that's what happened. But we started off really, really well. About a quarter and a half, we were playing good football. It was pretty much a shootout. And then Brisbane went on a run of like 6 or so goals in a row. And then the wheels obviously started to fall off. Kids were getting tired. Some of the senior boys weren't standing up. Basic skill errors. It just summed up our season pretty much. There were still the usual contributors to the game, but in that first quarter, they kicked 4 goals. We kicked 3 goals. It was a bit of a shootout, like I said. Ginnivan kicked 1 and stuff like that. And then, the first half of the second quarter, we were still like neck and neck pretty much. And then, like I said, they ran over the top of us, and we pretty much didn't rock up after half time. So if you look at the quarter by quarter scores, in the second quarter, Brisbane kicked 7 goals. In the third quarter, they kicked another 7 goals. So that's 14 goals in 2 quarters, and we managed 1 goal in the third quarter. So you can see how far we dropped off, ultimately losing by 85 points. And look, I'm not mad, but I am, to quote my parents, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Disappointed because it was like we went out without a whimper. Like, there was just no fight in the end. And a young team, and I get it, and we dropped off. But you do want to see fight. And look, they were trying. I'm not saying that they just stopped and they were witches' hats, because they were trying. And Brisbane are just a really good side at the moment. They're playing finals and stuff like that. We're a bottom 4 side. This is what we've come to expect. In saying that, though, this 85-point loss against Brisbane was our biggest loss this season. We hadn't lost by more than 30 points this entire season. And for a club that's bottom 4 at the moment, defense has been shot every now and then, to not lose by over 30 points is a testament to how strong we are and how resilient we are as well. But the other night, the dam walls just broke, and we just couldn't wrestle it back to a manageable, not a winnable margin, but to a manageable margin. And it was like a snowball or like an avalanche going down. Started off small, and then it just builds up, and it's just absolutely huge. Like I said, some of our guys did stand up well. One guy I do want to stand out is Jack Crisp, who is probably leading the Copeland Trophy at the moment, and ultimately will win it. Chris had 30 disposals, 16 handballs, 14 kicks, went at 76%, 4 tackles, 7 clearances. He did really well, and what I liked about Crisp was, if he wasn't playing, we would have got done by a lot more. He was a very good... Actually, let me see his intercept marking if I can find the stat. He had 10 intercept possessions, and I can guarantee you that most of those were marks, because when the ball was coming into the back line, he was the guy at the front of the pack taking the mark and, obviously rebounding from 50 and setting up some sort of play. So I just loved the way he went about it yesterday. Another guy who I absolutely admired, of course, Jordan De Goey. 27 disposals, kicked 1 goal too, so he's becoming... Well, not becoming... He is that midfielder who can kick goals now, which we love. 74% disposal efficiency. Attended the centre bounce 20 times. Clearance-wise, he got 6 clearances, which is pretty good. 320 metres gained. So De Goey is becoming a bona fide midfielder, and we absolutely love it. Jamie Elliott attended the midfield as well. Taylor Adams went about it like he normally does. The kids didn't have too much of a say, but if you look at Finland McRae, he played 80 minutes of game time out of 130, over 15 disposals. I think he did something to his ankle, so it limited how much he could play, but he attended the centre bounce 10 times, so he's starting to get into it a little bit more. Jack Ginnivan kicked 2 really cool goals. So the boys, they were just out on their legs. And look, I've been criticised on Twitter and stuff by some accounts and on Instagram, if you've seen it, for being too positive and stuff like that. But, like, I don't see the point, and you know me because you guys have watched a lot of these videos. I just don't see the point in going, 85 points, that's absolutely disgusting. Taylor Adams couldn't kick to this guy couldn't kick here. Majek kicked 1 goal, 4. Blah, 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 blah. We can't move higher than 16th at the moment, I don't think anyway. So there's just no point getting upset at a team that is so young now. We're pretty much the baby pies. I think it was 10 players that played under 50 games. No Jeremy Howe, no John Noble for most of the game, no Q, and no Darcy Moore in the back line. So that's 4 of your starting 6 in the back line pretty much out of the game. So none of that. Still no coach. The guys aren't playing for a final spot. They're not playing for top 4. They're just playing to end the season. They got one eye on the preseason bye and 2022. So that's why I tried to stay as positive as I can, because I don't want to snowball this there's too much negativity in the world, and there's too much negativity around Collingwood. If I'm this platform that is just spewing vile, I don't want to do that, you know what I mean? Like, you look at, and this is just a bit of a tangent now, but you look at other teams and, like West Coast Eagles supporters today going off at their team for getting done by Fremantle. And look, even though I don't condone that sort of negativity, I'd feel the same way too. If my team is if Collingwood's going for the top 8 and we put up a shit performance, of course I'm going to come on here and talk shit, like I did for most of our games in 2019 and stuff like that. But when the game doesn't really matter and it's just about getting runs into the legs of the guys, there's not much you can do besides be like, yeah, you know what, it sucks. 85 points hurts. They said something like the last time a team kicked up over 120 points against us was like 5 years ago or something. So, yeah, getting 140 put against you sucks. 85-point loss sucks. But it just ultimately doesn't matter. And if you can find positives, and I think that's just, and this is just becoming Dr. Swoop at the moment, but if you can find positives in something that sucks that much, you go a long way in life. Like, if you can find positives in a shit scenario in life, or if you can find positives in just anything, the thing about a loss is that you can learn lessons from it. And the thing about something that bad that happens to you is you can learn lessons from it and you can be better. You can do better. So if you can find positives in something shit else, you're already better than the person that is just not looking for positives and they only just want to vent and just yell and scream to avoid. So, look, sorry about that tangent. I just had to get that off my chest. I think this video was just, I wanted to reassure you guys that we're going to be okay. It fucking sucks, trust me, it sucks. But we're going to be okay. 85-point loss, it sucks. It really, really does suck. But look, let's just get on with it, onto the next one. Speaking of the next one, Essendon next week. Essendon need to win to make finals. Do you remember back in 2017 where we beat Melbourne in the final game and they didn't make finals? We have to do that to Essendon. Please. Because that would be huge. We did it to West Coast. We pretty much wrecked their final standards a couple of weeks ago. So that would be, chef's kiss if we could do that to the Bombers. So good. But until then, let me know your thoughts on the game down below. As always, I love to hear what you guys are talking about. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.
Ooh la la.
So just before we... So just before...